Here we go, AKA Powders. We have a banger coming to you, available right now on Hulu, 2025's The Order, starring just one of my favorite, it's almost like one of my new favorite guys, and one of my favorite guys, Jude Law, Tye Sheridan. Now, the entire cast, they hit it out of the park. They really do. Everyone is there. But we do have a shining star. And sometimes when you're watching a movie, you know it's good, but then you look into the credits. We look into who made this movie, and then you see the shining light. And in this case, it's the writer. So we got to talk about him and everything he's done, because I don't think he's missed. That's amazing. Come on, guys. It's the AKAPAD The Film Buff podcast. Join me for The Order.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production. Take one.
Action!
AK Powder. Here we go, guys. I love it. I love it when we're watching a movie and you can see through the movie in the most positive, enlightening way. What do I mean by this? Well, here it is. It's very simple, very simple. Good movies hit a mark that we cannot define. It's invisible. It's an invisible mark. And the movie sucks you in. And you're not just engaged by the visuals, but it's the audio, it's the acting. Like, for example, Jude Law's like accent, his voice in this movie, it's amazing. Tye Sheridan has this amazing flip out scene. We have a cast top, and then we get Nicholas Hoult, big part of this entire cast. We know Nicholas Hoult. He's coming up in the new Superman movie. He is the new Lex Luthor. I'm loving it. So we just have a stellar cast. So we even have what Jurnee Smollett. I don't know. Is she related to Jesse Smollett? I don't have any idea. She has a couple freakouts in this movie, and I know I keep saying freak, right? I was saying Tye Sheridan has a freak out. Dude, even Jude Law has a freak out. It's not a movie where everyone is like overacting. Everyone, when they break, it's almost like you feel the level of frustration. Nicholas Hoult plays our villain. He's our white supremacist. He's our, excuse me. We can argue that he's like the visionary. He's the one that has this vision for the country, for America, for the revolution, for the terrorism, for all of it. And he comes through absolutely scary. AKA Powders. I think this movie is of note. I think this movie is worthy. I think this movie deserves a higher discussion. Now, I have issues with what some of the title cards say at the very end, because they kind of loosely connect this to January 6th, the insurrection. I think this film contradicts that claim along the way, because we see that these guys, these evil supremacist guys, they have their own charter, they have their own, they have books, they have constitutions, they have their own method to achieve this, and it's obtainable, meaning you can hold it in your hand, and we know what their intentions are, we know what the timelines are, we know what they feel like they have to do. It's very clear, it's very specific. They document it, they have a path for it. In my view, January 6th was like a bunch of internet idiots doing the stupidest thing, and they deserve to be punished for it, but at the same time, that's not this. And I feel like that comparison takes away from the lives lost in this movie, because spoiler, Tye Sheridan gets it, we see it coming, and his death scene with Jude Law. Now, Jude Law doesn't die, but Jude Law lives. It sticks with you. Your heart goes out to everything in that scene. the blood on Jude Law's hands. They're kind of on this gravel road, and he to get the blood off of his hands, he picks up the gravel and just like grinds it into his hands to get the smell of the blood, probably the stickiness of the blood, off of him. He needs to separate himself from having his friend, his partner, die in his hands as quickly as possible, because again, everyone in this movie is driven to stop these guys, and they're locked in. Thanks to the title cards, we know that some of these guys, it took an extra 2 years for them to get captured. They had a couple $1 million to spend. We have one awesome road armored truck heist. Can I talk? I feel like I'm all over the place. And this is a period movie that, thanks to Adam Okpa, this is our cinematographer. This movie feels like it's of the era. The cars used, good selections, the clothing, good selection. The production staff of this movie sold the era, and they're selling the era without using music from the time. They're not using things on TV. They're not going to all of these other low-hanging fruits. This is where the absolute artistry of Justin Kurzel comes in. And Justin Kurzel, we know him. I mean, we have it coming because it's been trending on HBO Max. But Justin Kurzel is the guy behind the Michael Fassbender Assassin's Creed and the Michael Fassbender Macbeth. He shot both of them back to back. I've been gearing up to do a little bit of a Shakespeare like interpretation run, starting with Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet, which is, I think, the gold standard of Shakespeare adaptations. So maybe we'll get more of that. But we have the true history of the Kelly gang. We have Nitram. And then he's got The Siege coming up. He also has another movie called Snowtown. These movies, just based on the images of like the posters and the thumbnails, they all look appealing. But AKAPAD, I'm a fan of his Assassin's Creed. And speaking of the hero, like the people behind, the real hero of this movie is Zach Baylin. This is our writer. He wrote King Richard 2021. We did that back in 2021. We predicted that Will Smith was going to win the Oscar for that role, and he did, by the way, guys. Creed 3, which in my view is a clear writer's movie that probably could have been, no exaggeration, an hour longer. We wanted there to be a little bit more of a time where Creed had to get back into the ring, and a little bit more motivation for that, a little bit more, the need to having to do it. I feel like the final conflict at the end of Creed 3 was there for the movie, not so much for the characters and plot. But Creed 3, directed by Michael B. Jordan, still, in my view, for a third movie, crazy success. And you guys know I am a huge fan of what's his name? What is Jonathan Majors, who I just feel like unfairly raked through the coals and destroyed in the media. Jonathan Majors, I feel, is one of the premier actors today. Gran Turismo, directed by Neil Blomkamp. Gran Turismo, from a video game to that movie, and the way it kind of holds the mirror up to itself. Very imaginative, very much there. Big names in that movie. Big, in my view, as big of an idea as those names are, as that director is. They were swinging for the fences for that. It's one of the most underrated video game adaptations that we have today. Bob Marley, One Love. I cannot speak on this. It has been on my list though, because we've been doing a lot of music biographies. Yet again, we have upcoming, I know we have The Doors coming, and I know we have I'm Not There, which is another Bob Dylan biopic, which that one too, oh my god, I love that movie. He wrote The Crow, 2024, The Crow remake. So he's got like 3 movies that came out this year. Bob Marley, The Crow, The Order. The Crow, I liked it, as proven on this on this podcast. Zach Baylin is a true writer. He gets solutions. He's been in the game since 2021, which is phenomenal. Now, I know there's no such thing as an overnight success. I'm sure he's been writing for a long time. But we have a story here that splinters. And there's different lives and motivations that we weave through. It seems like when we cut back to every single one of these, and some of this could be editor, some of this could be other things, right? But it seems like Zach wrote a wonderful blueprint to guide us through these lives, so we even feel the loss of the villain. We feel a little bit of the desperation, a little bit happy with what happens to the villain at the end, as you should with these types of movies. But at the same time, sympathy all around. I like it when, and I get it, this is a historical movie, and I feel like movies should educate, but I love it when we have someone like Nicholas Hoult in this movie where their motivations are explained and absolute. Like there's no wavering of where this person is coming from. We can always get into the why, whatever, but when we know that these characters, like the ground that they stand on, whatever happens to them as we get through into the credits, it's more and more impactful, more and more meaningful. I'm just a little, I guess, like we always cycle back to me being a little pissed, a little upset, because this movie seems to be under the radar and no one's talking about it. I feel like this movie is of absolute importance. So AKA Powders, check it out on Hulu, The Order, starring Jude Law. And I'm saying starring Jude Law because it's his character story. That's who we see it through. Love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.